I, Reginald Kwanberg, still don't have Nintendo Switch Online. Yes, you heard that right. I have a YouTube channel with like, what is it now? More than 8 subscribers, and I still haven't paid for the Switch Online service. Now you might ask, why? Why would anyone care about whether you paid for the Switch Online service? And that's a very valid question that I'm not going to address. You might also ask, more importantly, why haven't you gotten Nintendo Switch Online, Redkwan? Sure, it's not the best online service out there, but it pretty much mostly works some of all the time. And besides, Redkwan, it's only $20. Also, you're like making money from making videos about Nintendo. Shouldn't you like know what you're talking about? Well, yeah, but people deal with it because of my relatable personality that I definitely have. Well, I know I've made fun of how dumb it is that I don't have the online service for pretty much the entire opening of the video, but I actually think I have some good reasons to not buy the online service, and maybe, just maybe, but probably not, you might just decide that you also don't need the online service. Or you'll just realize how self-centered I must be to make a video like this. Hello all 2,160 of you, I'm Redkwan, and this is why I don't have Nintendo Switch Online. So, short answer, I'm mega cheap. It's the same reason I haven't bought a Switch game in like a year and a half. That's obviously a joke, but it's also true. If I'm going to buy something, I really have to think it's worth buying, and honestly, I don't think Nintendo Switch Online really is. And here's why. $20 might not be that much money, but Nintendo Switch Online isn't that much of a service. Oh, snap! That $20 goes to a few different things, and I don't think any of them are really all that worthwhile for me. We have online play, NES and SNES games, save data in the cloud, a smartphone app, and special offers. Let's go in reverse order here because they go downhill quick. So first of all, these special offers pretty much just seem to be NES and SNES themed controllers for the old games. You still have to buy them, of course, but like special offers, you know what I'm saying? Then we have the smartphone app, which is notoriously stupid. Maybe they fixed some of the issues with it by now, I really wouldn't know because I don't have it. But based on what I've heard, it doesn't really seem like it. The Switch still has some pretty weak options for voice chat, and the features the app provides really aren't that crazy. There's nothing to get excited over. Cloud save data allows you to back up your saved data so that you can retrieve it if something happens to your system, or you use a different one. It's a cool idea and it's nice to have, but people are rarely going to use it, and for me at least, it really doesn't make that much of a difference. Well, now I probably jinxed it and I'm gonna break my Switch today. Those 3 things aren't features I would pay for, but to be fair, the 2 main draws of the service are the NES and SNES games and the online play. So let's start with the NES and SNES games. There are some good games here, but with only 2 consoles, the selection is still pretty limited. Also, most of the games right now are from the NES, and at least as far as I'm concerned, most NES games aren't very fun anymore. That's not to say there aren't good games on the service, because there definitely are, but I don't think there are that many must-play games yet. People who have a Wii U or 3DS like me, because I'm stinking amazing, can also get most of those on the Virtual Console for like $5, which is a whole lot cheaper than $20, especially since it's only a one-time cost. Plus, a lot of people just aren't that interested in old games, and probably won't use this feature of the service much more than an hour or 2. If you are interested in old 2D Nintendo games and you don't have a Wii U or 3DS, the online service might be worthwhile, but I think for a lot of people this feature probably isn't that big of a factor either. The biggest reason to get Nintendo Switch Online is of course to play online. Online play is a huge part of video games and what year is it now? 2016? And without Nintendo Switch Online, you can't. Now this might seem like a real bummer, but I don't think it's as big of an issue as it seems at first. To start with, Nintendo games are usually just a lot more fun to play locally than online. That's probably true for most games, but I think with Nintendo games especially, playing local multiplayer makes the games way more fun. Super Smash Bros., Mario Kart, and even ARMS, hey, don't get a big head there ARMS, you're not that good, are way more fun to play with people in the same room than online. Sure, it's nice to have the ability to play online when you don't have other people to play against, and there are definitely some people who mostly want to play online, but most people probably buy these games primarily to play locally. The big exceptions here are Splatoon 2, which doesn't have any form of local multiplayer and which is completely revolved around playing online, and Mario Maker 2, which is also pretty much entirely reliant on playing online. If you're really into Splatoon, the online service is kind of a must. I think Splatoon is a lot of fun, and I think it's one of the best designed online shooting games out there, but it's also not something I feel like I need. If I had the online service, I may play the occasional game of Splatoon, but it's definitely not worth $20 a year to me. And besides, at this point, it's getting to be kind of old anyway. I'm sure most people are pretty much done with it at this point too. Mario Maker 2 is also a well-made game that a lot of people were into, but I think that maybe even more than Splatoon, Mario Maker's appeal is probably worn off for most people at this point. It was a fun game, but I doubt too many people are playing it too much anymore, and I definitely don't feel like I've missed too much by not playing it. So if you're not playing a lot of Splatoon 2 or Mario Maker online, you're probably not super reliant on playing online with your Switch. Again, there are definitely exceptions with people who are really into Super Smash Bros. Or something, but I bet a lot of people have the online service and don't play all that many things online. And this isn't even factoring in that people have had tons of trouble with connections and lag in their games, and while it's probably improving, it still makes it less appealing to play online. So the Switch Online service may be worthwhile for a decent amount of people, those who really want to play some of these classic 2D games and don't have a Wii U or 3DS, those who are still very into Splatoon 2 or Mario Maker 2, or who care a lot about playing games like Mario Kart or Super Smash Bros. Online, or who don't mind spending $20 a year because they're not total cheapskates. But I think for a good chunk of people, playing Nintendo games online isn't the big draw of a Nintendo system, and considering the lackluster connections and absence of much else in terms of features, the online service probably isn't worth it. Would you believe that was all one sentence? Talk about a run-on. Don't show an English teacher this video. But that's why I don't have Nintendo Switch Online, and I honestly think there are a lot of people who probably don't really need it either. Oh, and I forgot that I get to pretend like I'm taking the moral high ground because everyone thinks Nintendo didn't do a very good job with it, and I can say that I'm not supporting it because I don't support incomplete and inferior products, which is definitely the reason. That's definitely it. Well, I'm Redkwan. Do you also not have Nintendo Switch Online? Are your reasons as bad as mine? Is making a video regarding my own choices about something a lame thing to do and something nobody cares to watch? Probably, but yeah, probably. Anyways, I'm Redkwan, thank you all for watching, and I'll hopefully see you all later. Goodbye.